read somewhere about Google going very fast and integrating with their BART service within the search engine, like what Microsoft did with Bing and in
Mm.
ChatGPT integration. I heard that they are fast pacing that in launch as well. I heard it's coming in June, but I don't know if it's still on the plan. But I heard they are all going pretty fast. And also
And
one more thing, which I also, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
y- yeah, so what I meant to say was, the Google is actually releasing their first version of it, and Bing, I think, is already looking at the second version where they're adding plugins to Bing browser. So that's the same
Yes.
as GPT plugins. In the Bing browser, you can add multiple plugins and power the LLM even more.
Yeah. And the other one, which I also found interesting, is the Alibaba. I'm not sure if you guys looked into that. They also launched something similar called Tonji. So looks like they are also integrating first internally within their businesses and probably also roll out to customers as well. So that was pretty interesting as well.
I don't know. The way I felt with that news was everyone has to post something that they have been working on LLMs. So I felt it that way, but let's see how exponential it would be.
Yeah,
But one
still
more
early.
thing is one more thing, right? I'm glad you brought Google. I don't think our podcast can end without talking about Google Bard, right? So I feel like Bard is growing well as well. I've been trying recently, but I don't know. Somehow my mind never goes to like using Edge to try it out. My mind first goes to either ChatGPT or Bard. Bard has been doing good because ChatGPT has limitations, right? It can't research on the latest things that's going on and stuff, but Bard can do that. So as a typical human who wants to get things as fast as possible, you don't want to like I mean, Chrome is my default browser, so if I go to Bard easily, it's giving me information. It might not be as accurate or it might have flaws, but it's giving me information, so that way it's doing good.
Yeah, one other thing I think funny. It's very important advancement, right? ChatGPT is coming up with an incognito window, incognito mode, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's very interesting because so we have seen Italy blocking ChatGPT and a lot of companies blocking ChatGPT, right? Because there could be a lot of proprietary data which the model is being trained on, and this results could appear in somebody's search and all of that stuff. So anybody who is like afraid of all of that stuff, I think incognito mode is a really good mode to basically do whatever they want to get to done in ChatGPT. So look, right,
Yeah.
that's also an example for anybody who's like a product manager, right? Look out for the customers' needs and see what the customers want the most, and then iterate immediately. So maybe I'm not sure if they had incognito plan before or not, but we have seen them meeting the needs in a very faster mode at this point, right?
Yeah,
That is true.
that's a pretty good add-on feature as well. As I was reading about that as well, and especially, previously I worked when launching few features, especially in the European marketplace. As you guys know, every marketplace is different. The regulations are different. There are different regulations like GDPR, PII, and all that stuff. So it's very important for all these different, products and companies to think through all that. To avoid all this. I also heard about that they are lifting the ban soon in Italy. So that's a pretty good point and
Cool.
interesting feature.
Awesome, guys. Love the conversation so far. Any final thoughts, or let's probably end it this way, right? So, Sidhu, if there is two takeaways that you want to give to our audience, what would that be?
I'd say, you know, I tried keeping up to date on the latest AI stuff. I failed, and don't try to also. But I think there are very interesting things, right, to watch out for. And Auto GPT would be one which I'll be watching out for, and also any other AI integrations on the apps which I use regularly. I would want to use some of those.
Okay, Srinath, what are your takeaways?
Yeah, my two takeaways. One is very similar to what Situ just mentioned. Try to play with it. It's awesome, and there's so many things that you can do. And in addition to what Chat GPT was doing, and the second thing is, there's so many companies. launching different types of features. Just try to figure out probably, what is more relevant to your job, and try to, play accordingly. For instance, if a person is working on an API related product, then maybe think through like what Twilio has done, integration between a Twilio API and a chat GPT, how they have done and approach that problem. So there's so many valid use cases going in the market. So just try to find, and probably it will help you to think through about the product that you're building.
Awesome. My takeaways, the first one is like have a hands-on approach. Given that it's in the very early stages, it might actually take time for companies to build the actual physical products, which is super easy for customers to use. So have a hands-on approach when you're trying to do some of these things. And then the second one is learn. Like the way I would say is learn about what is GPT, what is language learning models, how are these built, etc. So that way you're up to date on the latest things that are happening in the AI world. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for spending the time today. And for anyone who's still watching, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel.